Show. This is the Big O 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 Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX $419 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental, Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231. Implantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodyasdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated number 1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's number 1 volume Subaru retailer.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help. The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning, boys and girls. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're stacking your sats right there. Yeah. Get that Bitcoin. Get that Bitcoin. Get that Bitcoin. Anyway, good morning, y'all. Hope you're doing well. Life is good. Panthers are ready. You know, I screwed up with the Panthers already. I don't know what the line was, but I already bet them to win the Stanley Cup like I did last year in June. And I don't know why I didn't bet it again immediately after they won. And I only got it at plus 700. Sucks, dude. Damn it. Anyway, so I did it this morning. I bet on the Panthers to win the cup again. Went to my Hard Rock app. And remember, at Hialeah Park, you can also go through Hialeah Park and, then you can get the same thing, get the app and all that. Plus, we get credit for it. So, it's always good when you use the QR code. Where's my Hialeah one? Because I don't have Sean today. Sean's doing some vacationing this week. So he's kind of helping from afar some of the stuff. And so just use the QR code. There is no $100 no regret first bet. They changed it up now. It's another promotion. But you can use the QR code and we get credit for it. So that's really important. And you can make your own bet on the Panthers winning the Stanley Cup if you want. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing. I already made the bet. I screwed up. I should have betted earlier. I don't know if I would have gotten plus 800 or 750 or 900. I don't know where it was a week ago or something. I'm not sure. Maybe one of you out there can tell me if you ended up betting it. But I got it at plus 700 last night. I figured, dude, plus 700, let's go. Cats are loaded, baby. Loaded. It's, I was thinking about this. It's funny. Okay, are you prepared? Sit down, stand up if you want. If you're working some heavy equipment, you may want, I'm not sure. I don't know how it'll affect you. Maybe it won't affect you at all. Maybe it will affect you because one of it is funny and lifting. The other one is depressing and I don't know. But there are two teams in South Florida doing the same thing right now. I don't know if you know that. But I know that, And now you will too, except they do it differently. You know, when the Panthers say, we're going to roll it back and we're going to bring them all back, that's a good thing. When the Miami Heat say, well, we're going to bring them all back, we're going to roll it back, we're going to rib it, not a good thing. It's puke-inducing, it's sickening, it's, you know. It's funny. Both of them are doing the same thing. You know, the team that used to be the best franchise in town, the best run franchise in town, the Miami Heat, used to be. Now, okay, as a friend of mine said yesterday, the most perfectly run franchise in town, the Florida Panthers. Okay, because when fans hear you say, we're going to bring it back, well, yeah, bro, please bring back the 97 Marlins in 98. That's right. We don't want a freaking fire sale asshole. No, we want you to bring that shit back, dude. Yeah, come on. We can win another World Series title with those guys. But when you're mediocre like the Miami Heat, that you could barely make the playoffs, or you're a play-in team and you're telling your fans constantly, yeah, no, we're bringing this back. Yeah, no, because this always works. You can laugh or you can be depressed. I've got to laugh at it. I mean, the Heat have given us so much winning at this point. We can be pissed at the Dolphins for all the shit that's gone on for 40 years. That's just frustration piled on frustration. You know, the Heat are just like lost children at this moment. You know, hopefully they'll figure themselves out and they'll figure out a way and they'll find their way, you know. But right now they're on a hamster wheel. And I was thinking about that. They're both bringing it back, but there's just, it's a completely different feeling when you hear that the Panthers are bringing everybody back and that the Heat are bringing everybody back. That's just, no. I'm sorry. No. Oh, man. Listen, at least one of our winter sports has got it going on. And I got a positive for you. Hockey starts before basketball. And in this town, hockey will end way after basketball. So it's all good, man. It's like watching a boater get eaten by a whale. You know, you've seen that video of the whale, the humpback whale that comes out of the water and eats the boater and then spits him out after. It's like, yo, bro, I eat plankton and shit. I don't eat you, you know, and he spits him back out again. That's kind of what it is. It's the Panthers will swallow the Heat season and spit it out at the end so they can go have their parade. That's all. You know, but they're rolling it back, baby. They're rolling it back. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I know you're happy about that to a certain extent. Outside of that, yeah, you're probably not very happy with rolling it back. Anyway, good morning to all. Hope you all are doing well as always. Don't forget, besides, I was just, we did start off with a little Caneswear in the box. And don't forget to use our code, Big O10. You can get a hat like this. Many hats. They have a ton of hats. And I've purchased 8,000 of them, shoes, all kinds of stuff, shirts, jerseys, sweaters. I got this beautiful Dolphins sweater. That I'll probably use. I'll probably use it in Spain, actually, in Madrid, because it'll be cold at that time. So that'll be cool. Actually, that's pretty cool. I can actually take those things to the trip in Madrid. Looking forward to that trip in Madrid, too. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll see. I don't think the Dolphin season will be fun, but it is what it is. And we'll talk about that also. That was the headline on the show. what the Dolphins are telling you what they're doing, and we'll talk a little bit about that because I think there seems to be kind of a misunderstanding, apparently, and people aren't really kind of getting it. But anyway, got all kinds of stuff to talk about today on the show. Why don't we do this? Why don't we start off first with a 3A Graphics sports calendar? And, of course, the amazing Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443, custom printing and embroidery. Dolphins trade for retired tight end Darren Waller for a late-round swap, a conditional late-round swap. And we'll see what happens with that acquisition. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. I'm gonna shed a little more light on some of the silliness that I hear out there. It's just really ridiculous. Anyway, on Saturday, Inter Miami is back in MLS action. They're visiting Montreal 7:30. Pitbull Stadium on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Miami FC taking on Tulsa. Duncan Robinson goes in a sign and trade. The Pistons were stupid enough to do it, I guess. What the hell? Duncan signs a 3-year, $48 million deal with the Pistons. I say, good riddance, young man. You're a terrific young man, but you need to move on, and I'm glad. By the way, because it was a sign and trade, they acquired Simone Fontecchi. Is it Fontecchi? I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, he is on the final year of his contract. He's a three-point shooter, and he's making $8.3 million per year. Florida Panthers also signed forward Nolan Foote on a one-year, two-way contract. Former Devil. Jack Studnicka. The guy's name is Stud. Okay? He also signs a one-year, two-way contract also with the Florida Panthers. The Indiana Fever wins the Commissioner's Cup without Caitlin Clark in the finals, and they beat the Minnesota Lynx, who are a badass team, 74-59. That's a hell of a win for them. The WNBA also announces 3-team expansion to the league: Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly. They're at 13 teams right now. They'll be at 18 when it's all said and done. Toronto and Portland will be added in 2026 already. And then you'll get Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly, which will then round it out to 18 teams in the WNBA. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. And if you need custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. All right. Goody. By the way, went last night with the family. Went to go see F1 with, God, what's his name? The blonde dude. Anyway, good movie. Brad Pitt. And a good movie. I'm not going to tell you, oh, my God, it was a phenomenal movie or anything like that. It was more entertaining than watching an F1 race. So if you actually enjoy watching an F1 race, which I find boring as hell, then you're going to love the movie. And I love the movie. I enjoyed it. It had romance. It had drama. It had emotion. It was a well-written story and the plot too, the way it kind of all worked out. You know, listen, I'm not an F1 expert by any means whatsoever. I know that I know the ratings aren't great in the country. And they're kind of hoping this movie will kind of educate people about the sport and all that, and kind of then translate into rolling into it and all that. I watched a Jerry Bruckheimer interview a couple days ago about the movie, and he was explaining about everything. And, the car had like 20-some cameras on it. In fact, Apple made 2 special iPhones for this movie, because they're part of the production. and Apple's part of the TV production of all of this. They're the Apple company is part of this movie, and so they created 2 special iPhones that were also used for the filming of the movie too at the same time, to kind of add a little bit more realism and all of that. I thought the characters all played really cool roles. I really liked it, actually. I enjoyed it. Okay. Now, I went on Tuesdays, which is my expertise. I go on the discount night. Although I'm trying to convince the family already, we need to get the monthly pass. That way we can just go any night we want, and you can go as much as you want. It's like 20 some bucks or something, $30 or something for a month. And it's like, if we go every week once, it pays off for itself easy. If you want to go twice a week or something, because there happens to be extra movies, we can do it. So I'm actually going to do that since we're doing that Tuesday thing. So, but it was fun, man. It was fun. I would suggest anybody to watch the movie, the F1 movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought they did a great job with the storyline and everything else. I can't watch an F1 race, but I can watch that movie. Nice job. Nice job. Very entertaining overall. Good night. Good night with the family, and good night to enjoy a nice movie. So there you go. Don't forget, folks, of course, many ways to support the show. You got to hit that like button. First and foremost, got over 100 already, only 26 likes. Come on, man. Come on. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always appreciate. That Chainlink and Solana too, actually. Nobody's made a Solana donation yet. We've gotten Chainlink, we've gotten Ethereum, and Bitcoin. So there you go. By the way, Bitcoin, speaking of Bitcoin, we are at 107,800. Okay. So maybe a little 108 action today, 109, 110. It's about to happen. We're about to pop. This budget, this bill will get passed for sure. They can talk all the shit they want and try to create drama. It will pass. They can they're going to raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion. The M2 money supply has hit an all-time high in the U.S. and in the world. So they're all printing, and regulations are coming. Okay. And this morning, like, oh my God, it's just been like a slew of news that has come out. Chinese company Adentax has announced they're going to buy 1.3 billion in Bitcoin for their reserve. Peter Thiel, who runs a investment fund that's 21 billion worth, they're going to launch a new Bitcoin and crypto bank. The US dollar index, the dollar is dropping like brother, it's dropped 11% since January 1st, which will definitely help us with inflation, and our dollar will be worth less, which of course will take more dollars to buy everything else, which is, of course, that's what we all want. Germany's largest network of banks, Sparkassen Finanzgruppe, is entering the world of digital assets. They will offer Bitcoin and Ethereum trading to its private customers. It's crazy. They manage $2.5 trillion in assets and have 50 million customers. And by the way, somebody this morning just bought $145 million of Bitcoin. Plus. Whew. Right there. Do you have? Anyway. Or maybe is the gold one better? Is the gold one easier? It's harder. Still hard to read. Ty in the Bronx, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. He says the difference between the Panthers and the Dolphins is Zito took care of business while Robbie let Zonka kick and Warfield walk out the door. Well, that's not that they let him. It's just, look, man, You've got to create an environment. And let's talk a little bit about this because I have this in my notes that I want to talk about. You know, we talked about yesterday how Zito has proven to be superior over Shula and Pat Riley. Okay, you can listen to it there yesterday. So to elaborate now, and instead of talking about those specific individuals, you talk about the team. And the team, okay, the Dolphins, you know, we bring back those 70s teams over the years and they reminisce about what they accomplished. But those guys, in the end, didn't love it enough to stay together and make it something, make a dynasty out of it. You know, they had seen the Packers before them be a dynasty, and they had a chance to be a dynasty, and instead greed got in the way. And greed has always been there, right? So now you fast forward decades later, and the Miami Heat are in the same situation. The players came together. We thought they actually like really cared about each other and truly loved each other and really wanted to, you know, build something. The second Wade didn't look like Wade, LeBron told him, F you, dude. Let's be honest. Right? And then Riley, whatever, and they had their issues. Oh, no, we're going to let go of Mike Miller, the shooter and all that. And that pissed off LeBron. You guys know, you know the story, right? So you didn't create an environment. And those players, in the end, they didn't really give a shit about each other to that extent. They can reminisce over the next few decades and years about what they accomplished together because obviously it's the height of LeBron's career, the height of Bosch's career, and the height of Wade's career. They never, ever played on teams that were better than those, but they had a chance to make it even better, and they didn't. And when they even came together, they didn't even come together with that intent. They came together with the intent of trying to win, but also always make their money because they forced Pat Riley to give up picks so they can keep their stupid little bird rights so they can make more money. So in the end, we're watching Panther players all truly take less. Because, see, if Bosch and LeBron really were all about winning, they would have really taken less right from the get-go and said, no, Pat, keep the picks. Those picks can help us. You can go trade for players and put them around us. But then they come over with less picks already because Pat had to trade picks in order to acquire LeBron and Bosch, who could have flat out come in free agency. So their hearts really weren't in it. Their bank accounts were. Just like in the 70s, all of a sudden, Zonka said, F this, dude. I'm going to go make me some money. And he's been a capitalist his entire life. And God bless him for that. But there's a price you paid. Okay? You won your championships, but you didn't make it a dynasty. And you had a chance. But all of you in the 70s, you didn't care enough about each other to make it happen. And for the Heat teams, y'all didn't care enough about each other to make it happen. The Panthers are telling all of you, you guys are phonies. You guys are frauds in the 70s. Heat team, you guys are frauds. You got together out of convenience. Well, the 70s, you got together by luck that they drafted you and brought you together. Because Bonacani came in a trade, and so not everybody was there by drafting, but they brought you together, and then it happened. With the Heat, they made it happen, and then they destroyed it themselves. These guys were brought together, and now they want to stay together. These guys truly give a shit about each other. These guys truly love the team, truly love each other, truly play for each other. They're not playing for the money. They're making money, but they're making a lot less money. I'm just saying, we got to call shit like what it is. And what we're watching with the Panthers is unheard of, as you know. And they're now and because they give a shit about each other, unlike the Miami Heat, unlike the Miami Dolphins, they're going to do what the Miami Heat and the Miami Dolphins couldn't do. Or at least they will attempt it. Because all those teams could have stayed together and try to be a dynasty and go win at least another one or two. Who knows? Steelers right after the Dolphins became a dynasty. The Niners after that became a dynasty. So it's not like it didn't continue to happen. Other teams had the opportunity and they captured that moment. We have to appreciate that the Panthers want to capture this moment. And they're sacrificing in a brutal sport, by the way. Okay, a sport that a lot of you now have gotten closer to, and you realize year after year the injuries that these people are playing with. And you're like, wow. Like, man, you people are true professionals and character is through the roof. And this is real. The other bullshit was Memorex. It was fun. It was great. They each won a couple championships, but it was just business for them. This is personal. Dolphins were just business. Heat were just business. For the Panthers, it's personal. It's pretty cool, man. It's very, very cool that these men truly care about each other. Unlike the phony ass shit we witnessed with LeBron James and the Miami Heat. Can you imagine any of those guys dragging Bill Zito around and dicking him around like they've done to Pat Riley over and over again, by the way? Come on. Better without the cover? And yeah. Nope. The cover still gives it does protect it at least. Anyway, is the closest I'll get to a whole Bitcoin. Oh, Lordy. All right. Ty in the Bronx again. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Back-to-back super chats. Very kind of you. Thank you. We appreciate that. The Panthers are the new dynasty of the NHL. Finns are a lost cause from ownership to the fan base. It's so pathetic, Big O, so sad. Yeah. And, you know, it's funny. Let's talk a little Dolphins. Why don't we get one of my rants I want to talk about the Dolphins out of the way. The Dolphins are repeating an act. And last time it happened, we had controversy. And we had no idea. We were trying to figure out what was going on. And you have to go back to that situation to understand this situation. You're going to go, oh, what are you talking about? Let me explain. So last time, the Dolphins, and I'm talking about Chris Greer and company now, they tore it down to the bone. They hired Brian Flores to coach. And they tore it down with the intentions of tanking. Now, you can't talk about it, but your actions are supposed to be it. And so Brian Flores gets a guaranteed 5-year contract because all coaching contracts are completely guaranteed. And the understanding is, hey, Brian, you see that roster we're giving you? There ain't much there, right? Your job, should you decide to accept it, is to lose as many games as possible. This tape will destruct in 5 seconds. Somehow or another, Brian Flores didn't get that message. So we were all confused. Wait a minute. I was confused. Oh, they're trying to tank. Well, no, they're not actually, because that coach is not coaching a tank. That's not a coaching. That's not a tank. That's not a coach tanking. That's not a coach on the sidelines trying to tank. So I was like defending Flo here, like, no, there's no way he's trying to tank. Yet the front office did it all. They did everything possible to get the Joe Burrow pick. That was what's supposed to happen. And then you ended up at number 5 because this idiot won too many games. He couldn't win enough games in his final year. You know, he could only win the games at the end of the season against all the shitty teams so he could bring his record up. But, you know, it's not like it's crazy how the world works. So they tore everything down. It looked like they were tanking, and they were, but one guy didn't get the message and fucked it all up for everybody. Pardon my French. So now, what have you seen all off season? I mean, we've been, if you're a hardcore follower of the show and you listen every day and all that, I'm going to be repeating a lot of the stuff that you've heard in the past in pieces and all that. We'll put it all together again for you, but look at what's gone on the entire off season. They did everything in the draft that they needed to help Weaver. They did what they had to do to protect Tua. This isn't the guards that normally Mike McDaniel likes to get. He doesn't like big physical guards and stuff like that, and he doesn't like to spend on guards. They did. He doesn't like big backs. He cut the last one they had in Brooks. And then he came and ran over us. Well, guess what? They went and got Madison, and they went and got Ollie. Okay? Why? Because they're trying to protect the quarterback. Now, in the draft, they sent away a 4th rounder for a 3rd. You're trying to save your job. Did they do anything in free agency to kind of save their jobs? No, not really. They kept it very low-key. They didn't go out there and go crazy. Oh, Jonnu Smith, integral part of the offense. Oh, I need a new contract. Sorry, we're going to trade you. How are you going to trade your best pass catcher last year? Your most consistent pass catcher last year. Let's put it that way. You did. And then you replaced him with what? A goofball that was retired. And then you got 2 young guys that haven't done shit except constantly make mistakes. They got talent, I get it. Especially Julian Hill. He's got a lot of gifts. But haven't done anything. Just watch the entire offseason. Are they really did the GM work the offseason like he's trying to save his job? Because a ton of you want him fired. And let me put it this way. I think most of you want him fired. It's probably good 70, 80% of you that want Chris Grier fired. Maybe 90, I don't know. And he did nothing that would ever signal that his job is on the hot seat. Yet, the guy that is on the hot seat for sure, in Mike McDaniel, did he get what he needed? Not really. He doesn't have the depth that he needs on that team right now. He just got a severe downgrade at tight end. He still has to deal with a head case number 1 wide receiver that doesn't run the right routes, doesn't catch the ball consistently. The Dolphins have told you exactly what they're doing. They're tanking without tanking. They have put Mike McDaniel on a life raft and just have set him aside and said, dude, if you find land, God bless you, bro. You'll live. But if you don't, you're dead in the water. That's what they've done to Mike McDaniel. They stopped investing in Mike McDaniel. In the way he was doing football, they went and got a big receiver in the offseason. It's not the way he does things. Notice all the things they did, it's opposite of what he's done so far, what he has tried to push onto the front office. The front office finally told him to go fuck himself without telling him that and said, no, we're doing what we want to do. Because, and they gave him a new contract. Everybody got a new contract. Front office, everybody's got new contracts. So they can't look stupid in firing him right away. And they saw in the offseason players were defecting, the leadership, most of your leadership is gone. They saw all the writing on the wall. So Mike is going to have to sink or swim here. And if they happen to win, well, then great. All right. Yeah. I was going to say something, but I don't want to ruin it for you guys. It has nothing to do with sports. It's something else that, you know, if you haven't seen it, I want to ruin it for you. But anyway, and so if you win, great. But we don't expect you to win. We expect you to do the same thing you've done for the last couple of years, which then gives us a reason to fire you. And we're excited about the team. And it's more about, if you watch what I've been trying to tell you, this is more of a transition year. It's not really about taking down the Bills. It's about changing the way the foundation of this team is set up. And they're going more to physical style. And we're going to find out if he can adjust. If he can't adjust and do what they need him to do, he will get fired, and then Weaver will take over. But the Dolphins have told you exactly what they're doing. They just can't tell you. They did this several years ago. They just can't tell you we're tanking for Burrow. We want the number one pick. We have given Brian Flores a completely shitty team. All he has to do is screw it up. And he couldn't do that. He couldn't do that because he had to try to win. When it's like, yo, dude, you got 4 more guaranteed years. Nobody is holding this year against you. This is your mulligan year. Take it. And he couldn't do it. So there's no mulligan going on here, because you can't bring Mike McDaniel back next year. That would be absolute suicide. But indirectly, quietly, but obviously, they are not doing things at all the Mike McDaniel way. So now Mike McDaniel has to adjust the way he does things, the way he coaches games, all of that. It's way too much for a guy like that, for anybody, to be quite honest. So basically, they have set him up to be the failure that he is and has been so far, because he's had a lot more talent and he should have had much more success than what he's had. And they finally know this. But they have to go through this charade because they gave him a damn new contract. And so it would look odd to fire him right now. It would just be so controversial and weird. So now it's normal because he's on the hot seat, right? You got people writing articles, and he's one of the top guys that's mentioned in all the hot seat articles. So now it makes sense. He's on the hot seat. He doesn't perform well, which is kind of expected. They fire him, and they go through the charade of putting in Weaver, and they move on. They're telling you by all their actions, and they see it by all the players that left, including front office personnel that said, I'm out of here, dude. This isn't going the right way. And they see it. And so I think they've made a decision where they're fine with the personnel side of it, but they're not fine on the coaching side of it. And they know that that's the part that they have to correct because they're just not maximizing the talent. I mean, you're counting on Tyreek. Why would you count on Tyreek? You couldn't count on him the first couple of years. He fails in a lot of big moments. Talks a lot of shit and never lives up to any of the shit that he talks about. You're going to count on Darren Waller? Are you out of your effing mind? You're counting on Julian Hill to stop making mistakes. You're counting on Mike McDaniel to get a play in on time, to win a challenge, to know when to stick to the run. And there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make any sense. You have no corners. None. And people talk about like, well, maybe they could get Rasul Butler or Asante Samuel Jr. or something. Doesn't matter if you add one of those guys. It's not going to make your secondary better. And let's be honest, folks. You're also asking Jalen Phillips and Chubb to stay healthy. That's a lot, man. They're fantastic players. They're great talents. We know that. But they don't stay healthy. It's a problem. There's a lot of things to be worried and concerned about. So they know that too. And there is no positive buzz in that building. That's all manufactured bullshit that they're trying. But they know they don't have the right person leading. That's why when you look at the actions that have been taken the entire offseason, it's the actions of a general manager and an ownership group that have moved on. And the only reason the coach is there is because he just got a brand new contract that starts this year. So the only way to fire him is to justify the firing by not performing well. And that's unfortunately what they're going to wait for. And if by some miracle he becomes a decent coach this year, well, then so be it. They can put it on the back burner because then things are better. But they don't expect that. And for you to expect Mike McDaniel to finally get it at this point, it's insanity, bro. Insanity. The Dolphins are telling you exactly what they're doing. They've given up on Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel's on a life raft on his own. And if he can, paddle his hands or something and make it to Cable Beach Junction and not let the waves and the current take him out into the Atlantic, then he'll be safe. But if he can't, which is what's been happening every year, they'll get to do what they have to do in firing him and then moving forward. And I know you're going to ask me, so then why are they doing this? I'm the guy that said fire him in the Colts game. He wouldn't have been allowed to get on the team plane. If I owned the team, I would have said, hey, Mike, here, we're going to buy you a first round ticket. You can go because you're fired right now. We don't want you on the plane. It's too uncomfortable. Can't have you running this team anymore. That's it. That's what I would have done in the Colts game. I would have fired his ass and left him there. Remember how the Panthers, and it was like a lie. The Panthers didn't really leave this guy on alert. You had to go get a taxi or something or anything like that. That wasn't really the real story, but it should have been here. It should have been here. Yeah. Here's a first class ticket on another plane. Go get yourself out of here and go see your family. And thank you for everything. We can't have you here anymore. That's what I would have done. But, this is Stephen Ross's show, and this is the way they're going to do things. And it's not like this year you were going to be anything anyway. So might as well just make this the dog and pony show year where you make the transition. Okay. We'll see how it plays out. All right. Don't forget, folks, Acura Pembroke Pines, a proud sponsor of our program. We love talking about the folks at Acura Pembroke Pines. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. We'll be there in a couple of weeks, actually, having some fun. In fact, we'll be there next week, and then I will get in a car right after that and take off to Orlando to go see The Warning. How about that? I'm going to see the ladies. Finally, dude. I get to see The Warning in concert. Love the ladies from The Warning, dude. They jam. Looking forward to that. That's next Friday. So next Friday, we'll be at Acura Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And they've got the 17th anniversary sale going on right now. The Integra, beautiful vehicle, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ZDX, you can get electrified, $439 a month, 0% financing for 72 months. The RDX, my lovely wife drives that every single day, $419 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. Tell them that Big O sent you. They are absolutely phenomenal. Great dealership. That is at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation as always. Let me see what we got on the chat board. Please smash the hell out of the like button. Very important. Only 63, and we have 169 people watching. So easily over 100 of you have not hit the like button. I see Dolphin Dave is in the house. He says, looking good for the future. I like what they're doing for the defense of the coach. He will be the next coach. Yes, sir. Casper, the friendly ghost. Let's continue to shake up the roster. They have done nothing. The Miami Heat have shaken up nothing. Okay. It was great that Duncan opted out so you can get rid of his ass. But if you didn't dump Wiggins, Tyler, and Bam, I don't want to hear about it. That's what you had to do here. Riley failed. Another mediocre season coming up. I know that's, some of you can't handle the reality, but yeah, the Heat will suck. Hump day for Jamie Zorrilla in San Jose, Jeff in Long Island, Cosa Nostra. Big O, knowing Pat Riley, do you think he'll sign the old injured, maybe washed up Damian Lillard? Look, man. I hope not. And the good thing is I saw a report that what is it? Let me see here. Let me pull it up here. So I don't it's not like I follow this religiously, but it says on the score, the Warriors, Celtics, and Lakers are among the teams that have interest in doing a deal with Damian Lillard. And I say hooray to that. And by the way, those are teams you're going to want to join instead of the Heat right now. And God bless you, bro. Damian, go for it, bro. I don't want you here. I think it'd be an incredibly stupid move by the Heat. Just trying to find, again, it's the same thing at KD. You're trying to find some kind of, let's be somewhat relevant. Let's be a scab playoff team that we barely make the playoffs and we're not really going to do anything, but we can sell our fans that, there's always hope. It's a complete teardown or you're not doing it. And unfortunately, I'm convinced that because of Riley's age, he's refusing to do a complete teardown because it's going to take some time. and he doesn't want to wait. And I don't blame him for that, but I'm sorry, Pat. What's best for this franchise is to tear it all down, dude. You keep hanging on to people. Like, some people were even talking about bringing back Duncan. I'm like, are you out of your mind? And then this whole Damian Lillard shit. Like, this is ridiculous, dude. This does nothing for you. Jay Gelfin is in the house. Says, hell of a win for the Fever. Yes. Yeah, they play. It's physical. It was ugly yesterday. Yeah. Saw the highlights. I didn't get to see the game. Dan the Film Gen is happy that Duncan is gone. Let's see. One-Eyed Jack, good morning to you. Oh, they're gonna print like crazy, baby. They're gonna print, baby. Brian Radke, Alexis Palenzuela, Big Johnson, Skylar Tipton, Lou from Dade, and he's smashing it. Thank you, sir. Horn Dog, Giovanni Rosendo, Gus 1388, Walt Oli. Races. Apparently, Ramsey was one of the culprits who was always, look, dude, it's Ramsey is Ramsey, but you got to be a better coach, and you got to demand that respect and command that respect. But if you're always going to be a jokester and you can't take anything serious with the guy, that's how you're going to be looked at, and that's how you're going to be treated. And that's what's gone on. Mike McDaniel's a joke, dude. That's all. Chop Robinson is going to ball out this year, says Keith. I like him. Yep. Vishal, Dolphins rule. This just in. Miami has convinced Deion Sanders and Champ Bailey to unretire to fill the cornerbacks. I like it. Deion with 8 toes. He's got it, bro. I think you're faster with 8 toes. Let's see. What else do we have? Quantum, Nyborg, Juan Rosa, Stephen Harris says what? Pistons, thank you. Whatever, Pistons, yep. NorCal, Thomas. What we got here? Adrian, Rainy Day Pod. Thank you, sir. It's a lot of messages. Thank you. Can't read them all. Marlins team cannot be stopped. Yes, that's good for them. Let's see. You know what stops them? Salaries. What else do we have? I can't stand to Kitten to McDaniel's talk. Don't know how players can stand him. They don't take him serious anymore, dude. That's all. F1 movie is No Days of Thunder. Yeah, I'm going to give Days of Thunder an edge. Yes, I would agree with that. I would say Days of Thunder is better. Yes. The demons that Cruz was fighting. I don't want to elaborate on the other movie, but yeah, no, for sure. Days of Thunder is better than F1. Yes. I would agree with that. What else? I don't see Greer stick around for what would be his third coaching selection. The organization also should have given McDaniel an extent. Shouldn't have given. Okay, Kevin, what if he's not Greer's pick? What if Greer just worked with him and it was somebody else's selection? And I've been you obviously, Kevin, are not a hardcore listener of the show, but as I've talked for a long time now, and this has been over a year that I've said this, okay? I'm not convinced that McDaniel is Greer's guy. I'm just not. And I've given that explanation many times over, okay? He comes from the Belichick tree. His dad comes from the Belichick tree. From the Parcells tree. And then his dad worked for Belichick. He worked for Belichick. Then when he finally got a shot here in Miami, the first thing he did was hire a Belichick disciple. His brother was a hell of a hockey player, is a GM. Everything about Grier and his family's career is classic, old style coaching ways, all that kind of stuff. And this is not what he's normally associated with. Now, here's where I could be 1,000% wrong. It could be the whole pendulum, good coach, bad coach thing. You know, you go from Jimmy Johnson to Dave Wanstead, right? You know, like whatever. You go from one kind of coach to a different kind of coach. Sometimes they do that also. And maybe Chris Grier was part of that. But, Kevin, as I've said 100 times already, if you see Grier survive and McDaniel move on, then that wasn't his call. Because it's exactly what I've repeated 100 times. As much as I like Grier, they probably won't keep him around to hire his third coach. But maybe that's not his third coach. Maybe that was only one coach, Flo, and he didn't pick this one. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't tell you for sure on this. But if I watched the offseason, I saw a general manager manage like he was not worried about his job whatsoever. At all, dude. He didn't spend the money. He didn't mortgage any more of the future. He didn't mortgage any of the future picks, which is what they all do, trying to save their jobs. Wanstead, whatever. Any of these people have always done what everyone else does, mortgage the future. This dude did everything fiscally responsible you could possibly do. Not only that, he added 2 future picks to the team for the next 2 years. He didn't manage like his job's on the line. He managed like he's like, yo, you know, you guys still aren't listening to all the things I say, and you keep doing things on the side, and then we keep getting burned, and you keep setting us back. And see, you wanted me to work with this guy, and I worked with him, and I tried, and it just didn't work out. I did things his way, and you watch this offseason, it resembles nothing like what they've done under McDaniel. So I'm confused also, Kevin, but there's a part of me that says it's pretty clear what they're doing. Like, wow. Like, the general manager did not he didn't do anything to try to make this team. This is the worst team that McDaniel's had in 3 years. Is that how it's supposed to go? Or did they get to a point like, no, well, we're losing that guy, we're losing this guy, we can't overcome this. This guy can't handle a lot. Well, we just gave him a new contract. Well, all right, let's do this. And the owner says, well, I'm not firing him now. Let's see what he does next year. I get it. Don't sacrifice any of the future for him anymore. But let's see and he's got to sink or swim on his own. I get the feeling we are about to hit a fork in the road. And McDaniel's going to go off in his own way. And the Dolphins, Grier and Weaver, will continue. Just saying, do you wear earplugs at concerts? Yes, I do, sir. Yes, I do. I've been wearing earplugs now the last few years. Last, 10, maybe? Something like that. Yeah. What else do we have? I feel bad for McD, the person. He won't put his pride aside to let the rest of his staff do their thing. I don't know. I just think he's bad. Stephen Harris says, I see Zach Milson hitting the jackpot again. He already got married, and he got married to a young woman. Was he going to pick up like a Like an old hag again now? He's going to go back to the older women? Let's see. Big O, you lay about the Dolphins so eloquently at times, and I really appreciate it. Keep doing your thing, big boss. Thank you, Ian from Brooklyn. True FinFan says, why would any of you want a guy who chose the Bucks over Miami when he was younger and healthier? Hell no. Yeah. Yep. He could have easily made his way to Miami like all NBA players with balls. That's why after that move, True FinFan, I don't want anything to do with Damian Lillard. I found out he really has no balls. Okay? So, I don't want a guy like that. Sorry. Adrian Rainey, stuck in mediocrity. You talking about the Dolphins? You talking about the Heat? Talk about the Marlins? Well, Marlins are like terrible, not mediocre. Inter Miami? What do you that goes with a lot of things going on in this town, bro. Let's see. Juan Rosa says, I smashed the hell out of the like button. Now my screen protection is cracked. Beautiful. DL, I don't give a shit about the Marlins, bro. You guys can post all you want. I don't give a shit. Just because you idiots get on board for a little 8-game losing streak, and then I don't hear from you guys for the last couple of months that they sucked, you're all frauds. But see, I'm not a fraud, dude. I'm real. And I don't give a shit about the Marlins. They can kiss my ass. So if you want to go talk Marlins, bro, get lost. Go somewhere else. You're not getting it here. Okay? And by the way, if you keep putting Marlins, you know what I'll do? I'll just block you. So if you want to get blocked for stupid shit that will disappear shortly and they'll go into losing streaks and they'll never pay for players and all the shit that they've done for years. If you want to keep doing that, and if you want to cloud my chat board with Marlon stupid stuff, bro, I'll just block you. You do know I'll do that, right? Like, I don't give a shit. Ask anybody on the chat board if I give a fuck. Ask them. Ask them. Okay? And once you get blocked, brother, it's over. I don't unblock you. I don't let you back in or nothing like that. Okay? So when the Marlins pay for people and have a real payroll, then we'll start talking about them. But fluky little streaks and all that kind of bullshit, that doesn't fly here. So if you think that you're going to be a troll on it, it will end really short, really, really short here. It will not last long. So this is the warning that you will get, the only warning you will get. And then I'll just start blocking. Okay? So please don't waste my time with the Marlins. This will be the only warning you will get. Once you get blocked, don't complain. Okay? Don't go see me in one of my stops and say, hey, dude, come on, bro, unblock me and all that. Maybe $100 a Bitcoin, since it's gone up, that might get you unblocked. Maybe. Now, you know what? We're at $107, $108 a Bitcoin. That way you're giving me 1/1000th of a Bitcoin. Okay? So, yeah. Okay? So, you guys make your choice. You want to talk stupidity? Go somewhere else. I don't do it here. I don't waste my time. Anyway, we move on. Big O, at what point should the Dolphins move forward with Mike McDaniel? If we win a playoff game, I assume this roster was not even good enough to make the playoffs. Of course. Dude, it was good enough to make the playoffs the last couple of years and even win a game or something sometimes. And, he should have won more games every year that he's been here. And he hasn't. He has underachieved. Just like the last year of Flo, some of you idiots, well, dude, he won like 6 games at the end or something. Yeah, dude, but he lost all the tough games at the beginning of the season. He won the games that didn't matter anymore at that point. So, let's see. Mike was a run game coordinator, not an offensive coordinator. The reason Mike changed his stripes offensively was the addition of Hill, but Hill has failed Mike, and Mike has failed himself. Marcus, thank you, sir, for your logic. Kevin says that's a fair take, and Greer can definitely acquire talent. There's no, dude, he can acquire talent. They find talent. He makes great trades most of all. Most of the time, his trades are in the Dolphins' favor. He does an excellent job with personnel, dude. We just got to keep Van Ginkel and keep Rob Hunt. You know what I'm saying? Keep some of the right guys. Tyreek, you should not have guaranteed this year. You know, things like that balance it all out, and we look at it differently. And then the coaching, and that's our ultimate bugaboo. The first guy you hired couldn't build an offensive staff and hated the quarterback, which doesn't help. The second guy can't coach, can't lead, can't have structure. Like, that's crazy, dude. It's insanity how bad Mike McDaniel is. Let's see. As much as I'm a Greer guy, says True Finn fan from day one, I can completely understand why he would be on the hot seat or fired after this season. I hope not, but it is what it is, right? I'm a Greer guy, and I can't sit here and fight with you guys and all that. I'll do it about Tua. For me, there's a bunch of you out there that just don't get the quarterback position and don't understand. You block for this kid and give him a running game, and you will win a Super Bowl. I'm dead set on that. Okay, but we never have a team here. We never do that for any quarterback. We never block and give them a running game. Ever, dude. Ever. It's always some makeshift bullshit and all that, you know. Let's see. What else do we have? Marcus says, so you're 100% correct. This team is set up for Weaver if Mike can't change his predisposition to a pass-first offense. Big O, if Greer's advice is being disregarded, who's advising Ross? Is it still Tannendum? I don't know, NorCal. I can't answer that, my brother. I can't answer that. I'd love to. Ragin says, I've worn earplugs at concerts for years. It's easier to hear the details of the music and not overpowered by the volume. Yes, because the dBs are eliminated. You are correct, sir. Very smart, Ragin. Very smart. My earplugs have like this little copper filter in it, and so, or I think it's copper, I'm not sure, but it's like, and that's what eliminates the dBs. And he is correct. You get to hear all of the music a little better. Yes. Plus you're protecting the shit out of your ears. Yeah. And because I'm a concert snob, which means I'm in the front a lot. I like being close to the stage. That means I'm close to the speakers, and you got to have some earplugs on, dude. I'm about to hit 59, and I've been to, like, I don't know, 13, 14, 1,500 concerts. I don't know how many it's been, but it's a shit ton of concerts. So yeah, I got to protect myself as much as I can. There is no way the GM gets let go with the draft. Told me that. Go Dolphins. Yeah, I kind of feel that way. I don't have a problem with the GM, never have. I'll admit, yes, there are mistakes he's made, and yeah, bro, nobody's gonna be perfect. But to me, if you get the right coach, things change completely, dude. Let's see. True Fin doesn't want anything to do with Lillard. Adrian is right. Dolphins can't get out of their own way sometimes. It just seems to be what's happened to us for 40 years, dude. Les Jam says confirmed. He don't give a piss about nothing but them Dolphins. Curtis Baldwin, just wondering, what do you think? Is Miami getting rid of Tua and Hill next year? No, Hill, yes. Hill's gone, but Tua's not gone. No. Lenny says, I'm turning 48 years young today. Happy birthday to you, Lenny, man. Awesome. Good for you, sir. Enjoy my time with the family in the great state of Virginia. Beautiful state, right? Driving through there, the trees, man. I love it, man. Virginia on a mini vacation. Good day to you all. Enjoy your vacation, my brother. Virginia is a beautiful state, man. Beautiful state. Love driving through Virginia. What else do we have? Rosendo says, wonder what's tougher, to get into St. Peter's gates or Big O's blockade. Yeah, Trump ain't got shit on me. Okay, we needed Trump to close down the border, obviously, and did a good job, right? Biden was like a sieve. Well, see, with yours truly, still there's only a couple people getting through the border still. Couple. My border, no one. No one. Not even Clint Eastwood. He might have gotten out of Alcatraz, but he's not getting out of mine. Snake Plissken might have made his way out of New York City, but he ain't making it past my border. Nobody gets past this border. So it's like a roach motel. When I put you in, you're not getting out. It's just a way. Okay? That's it. Marlins can have their day. Pay for players, bro. You know, stop lying to people. Stop working up their emotions like these silly idiots. Oh, they won a couple of games. Yeah, they're going to keep anybody? No. They're going to compete for anything? No. Then what the hell are you talking about, moron? So, you know, stop working on people's emotions. You guys will be better off. Let me give you a little Marlins advice. Okay. While all you idiots, or some of you idiots, you got tied to Ozuna and Yelich and Fernandez and rest in peace to poor kid and all this stuff and Stan and all that, bro, I didn't give a shit about that team. If you watch this show, I didn't talk about them either. I silently did watch Fernandez's outings. Yeah. I still, you know, I had to watch the kid because he was special. But I knew he would be a Yankee eventually. Give me a break. It's going to be a Yankee. You know, who are we kidding here? Okay, but I didn't give a shit. I didn't get attached to any of them. Any of them. So when they traded Yelich, all that, and you guys were complaining, I was like laughing my ass off because I didn't care about the team. I didn't watch them. I would only watch them once every 5 days, every 5 outings. The Fernandez out. And the second Fernandez, by the way, would get off the mound, I'd turn off the TV. I didn't give a shit about the ending. I just wanted to watch a kid pitch because he was special. And so that's it. But I didn't give a shit about the team. Didn't care because I knew what it was going to end. And they're much better than what we have now. So I know how all of this ends. So why would you torture yourself with all of this over and over and over again? You know? So that's my best advice to you. Don't commit to something that is a cheating bitch. Who wants to get married to a cheating bitch? Who wants to go out with a cheating bitch? I know I don't. Hit the like button if you don't want to go out with a cheating bitch. So if you want me to talk about you, you need to earn it. And if you don't earn it here, you're not getting it, bro. That's all. So it's not a topic to talk about here. You need to earn it. Okay? After McDummy gets fired, other than Weaver, who would you want as Miami's next head coach? Finn's rule, I don't play the stupid hypotheticals and all that stuff. We'll see if it happens. This is what I think is the plan for them right now. We'll find out. If it's not the plan, and you know what I really like, to be quite honest, Finn Rule, you know what I really would like? I would like McDaniel to run the table and win 13 games this year and go 13-4 and win a couple of playoff games. I would love to win a Super Bowl, but a couple of playoff. That's what I would love. I'd love to have no more turmoil. I'd love to have no more controversy. I'd love to have confidence. I'd love to feel like I feel with the Panthers, where I just bet on them to win the Stanley Cup again. And they won me a bunch of money this year, where I got a bunch of free Bitcoin thanks to them. And thank you, Panthers. That was just beautiful for the Bitcoin. Beautiful for that Bitcoin. So that's what I want, dude. That's all I want for my Dolphins. I want them to win. So I don't want McDaniel to go anywhere. As much as I think he's a complete goofball, he's a waste of time. It was the dumbest shit in the world to extend his ass. I don't even know what the you were thinking that guy, you would extend him when he didn't do shit to earn it. So whether it was Greer or Ross's decision or Garfinkel or maybe that's why Reggie McKenzie's not here. Maybe Mike McDaniel was Reggie McKenzie's guy. And he stood up on the table and said, I was out in the West Coast. And let me tell you something. That kid has got something. And that's what we need here. This, that. All right, Reggie, we'll go with you. Hey, Reggie, you screwed us. And they kind of reminded him all the last couple of years. And then he said, hey, guys, yeah, I'm out of here, bro. I'm just, just throwing it out there. I don't know. All I know is that this general manager acts like his job is safe. He had nothing to do with the goofball. That's all I'm seeing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe after McDaniel fires, they fire both of them. But I'm telling you, and I've said it over and over again, if he survives, it's because it was not his call. And then he's known to be a great dude. He's known to try to work with everybody. Greer, I'm talking about. And maybe that's just what he did. He went along with it again because he can't tell. Maybe it comes from the owner and whoever or whatever. And, hey, let's do this, Chris. And Chris is like, okay. Maybe Chris is not in the position to say, hey, you guys are all a bunch of fucking idiots. Okay, I want this guy instead, not that guy. Am I the general manager or not? Maybe he's not willing to do that. And maybe he wants to save his job. I don't know. Maybe that's not how you keep your job. Somebody moronic like yours truly would do that. I would risk my job because I did it in broadcasting. When a program director would come to me or a sales manager, okay, I would have sales managers that would come to me because I would turn down accounts. I remember the first time it happened is where the lesson was learned for everybody, and then they never did it again. I had a sales guy come in and goes, hey, dude, I just sold an account for you. And I looked at him and I said, you sold an account for me? Well, I never met the client. I don't know what the product is. Oh, no, you're going to like it, this, that. I go, bro, I'm not you. I told him straight up like that. I go, hey, no, dude, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but that's not how I do business. You need to tell me what the product is. I need to see the product. I need to see the business. I need to meet the person. I need to go there. And then if I approve it, then we go forward. And he looked at me and goes, don't you want to make money? I go, yeah, but I want to make money the right way. I want to tell people that the people at Craig's Inn, Acura, Pembroke Pines are going to treat you like gold. And if they treat you like shit, that's not what I want to be associated with. And when you go to Brett and all those amazing people at Caneswear, dude, they are awesome. Okay? Jeff, Jack, whoever's there, freaking awesome human beings. So I want to be associated with that. You go to Moodius Dental and Eric and the family, and they got 2 great locations. And because that way, when you have great experiences with one sponsor, you're going to trust me with another. I told them that because that's always been my philosophy. Okay. I turned it down. So no, dude, I'm not doing anything. No. I got to meet the person and all that. He goes, no, don't worry about it, bro. I'll get another host. I go, you do that. That's awesome. Now, next time you must take me on the sales call because I need to know. I got to go there. I got to check it out. And by the way, Just for the record, the sponsor was on for 3 months and out. So after all that shit, for what? You know what I'm saying? But salespeople don't give a shit. They just care about the commission. They don't care about the client. They don't care about the host. And they don't care about the listener. Nobody ever cares about the listener. Ever. They don't care about lying to you. They don't care about misleading you. That's radio. That's television. That's politics. That's life, baby. Wake up. They don't give a crap about you. So, yeah. It's important to me. It really is. What else do we have? The Ricky Williams days were good times for the rushing game, but Ricky's head coach wasn't in the game, unfortunately, and he didn't have a QB. He didn't have a QB to offset that. That would have helped. That's where you had a running game and a decent. The line wasn't great. It was that Ricky was great. Okay, I covered those teams. Wasn't a great line, right? We had Jamie Nails pulling for 2 years, and after that he never did it again. You know what I'm saying? He had like this run for 2 years that he played well, but it wasn't a great line. It was Ricky was great, but they didn't have the quarterback at that time. You have the quarterback now. You just don't have the line, and you don't have the running game, and you don't have the head coach. That's a lot to be missing right now. What else do we have? I feel the same about the Pirates and Skeens. I'll watch when he's on the hill, and that's it. There you go. There you go. Does his girlfriend or fiance, does she go out there to pitch every once in a while? Would be another time you want to watch. Let's see what else. Adam Gase and Mike McDaniel, both dorky coaches, both hired by Stephen Ross because he has the same smart business mind, but no traits of a good head coach. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You might be right. You might be right. But I saw a general manager, and thank God, because I like Chris Greer, that acted like he is safe, dude. Absolutely safe. We'll see. You know? So we'll see. We shall see. Thank you, True Fin fan. Says that Big O vouches for them. I believe in them. Yeah, dude. I mean, you can call Cutter's Edge Pro, and I'm telling you, bro, William Quigley is the baddest mother effer there is in the world. And your house, your business is going to look, when the landscaping's done, you're going to go, holy shit, my house, my business is worth much more, and this looks beautiful, you know. If I'm going to associate myself with somebody, it's because I know that they do the job. And then that way I'm not lying to you. And it's the same thing I do with sports. I don't bullshit you people. I tell you exactly what I think. Am I going to be right all the time? No, but at least I'm not bullshitting you. You know, and by the way, what are we getting now with Waller? That leads me into a perfect topic. So now we've got the idiots in the media, all over the media. Well, you know, maybe he comes and he screws his head on right, and you know, he caught all these yards and this and that, and he was more prolific than Jonnu Smith ever was. And bro, just look at the track record. Give me a break. Okay, that was years ago when he had those 2 years. He's been a lost soul. He had a terrific girl in Kelsey Plum. By the way, my favorite WNBA player. And he ruined that. Who looks like a super cool chick, by the way. This is a person that his head is not in the right place. He's clearly broke after all the stupid shit that he's done. And now he's trying to make money the only way he knows because he sucks at rapping and everything else. And so he's playing football. That's what's going on here. Okay? It's not about, oh, you know, did you listen to his lyrics and how, you know, his world, and he explains his heart out to you and all this. Come on, dude. I get it. It's the off season. You got to try to write some bullshit to pick something up, or you got to, it's the off season. You got to do a segment, and you could do the what ifs. Come on, man. Let's go. You better hope that Julian Hill and Tanner Connor get it. Okay? And by the way, as I tell you, Mike McDaniel loses Jonnu Smith. The GM says, we'll give you Darren Waller. This asshole here, okay, does a segment yesterday telling you, hey, if they're going to go out and get a guy, the Johnson kid was the number one wide receiver for New Orleans. Well, Foster Moreau is actually a really good tight end overall. He's a two-way tight end. He caught 32 balls last year for 413 yards, 5 touchdowns, 12.9 yards per catch. I'm not exactly sure what Jonnu Smith averaged, but it might have been somewhere in that area, right? Not much more, not much less or something. And he's the number 2 there. Foster Moreau. Terrific story, overcame cancer and everything. And here I am thinking logically, thinking about winning, thinking about, okay, you lost Jonnu Smith. You can't count on Tyreek all the time. Waddle drops his set of balls. The big receiver, well, this idiot has trouble even implementing that. Let me make sure I get him a tight end. No, I'm going to go get a head case that's retired. Another one of Drew Rosenhaus's head cases. Because, it's Jalen Ramsey, it's Tyreek Hill. You ever notice that? Like, if you look at who has most of the idiots in the NFL, Drew Rosenhaus represents most of the idiots in the NFL. So Drew's like, hey, I got an idiot for you. This moron's retired. He's gotten in all kinds of trouble, divorce, broke. He can't rap, but he wants to try to play football. How about that? Perfect fit for Mike McDaniel, whose ass is on the line. You can't make this shit up, dude. You can't make this shit up. If you watch the entire offseason, it's been a shell game. And, it's like the ball, and Jonnu Smith was under that, and then he lifts the other shell, and there's nothing there, and that's your Darren Waller thing. Six and 11. You know what? I can see 6-11. I can see 9-8. I can see 8-9. I can see a regular Dolphins year, dude. Yeah, 6-11, 7-12, whatever, bro. In the end, you're not good enough to do anything. You're either not good enough to get into the playoffs, or if you barely get in, you'll get embarrassed and get your ass kicked. What is that called? That's called a regular Dolphins season. That's what that's called. They're not going anywhere. Okay? But, I mean, it's just funny, dude. Just funny to watch. Oh, wow. Anyway. Don't forget, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana or Chainlink donations. Use the QR code there. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's see here. Brian, thank you, my man. Very kind of you. Brian Radke, a little love on Cash App. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you, as always, man. Appreciate your generosity, sir, and your amazing dedication to the show. That is absolutely awesome, my friend. All right, what else do we have going on? Waller don't baller no more. Yeah, that's probably accurate. Waller was suspended twice with the Ravens for violating the NFL substance abuse policy back in the day. At least McDaniel has someone to play beer pong with in the locker room. That is just so bad. Oh, God. That is terrible. Drew Finfan says, I am considering an Acura vehicle as my next vehicle. Well, just tell me when you want to go, and I can tell you guys who to talk to and hook up and get you guys in the right direction. All right. Or at least make sure you mention my name when you go. Okay. But DM me or some, and I'll lead you guys as always. If you want to get a Subaru, if you want to get a Toyota, if you want to get an Acura, whatever it is that you're interested in, please tell us about it and DM me or whatever, and I will try to lead you in the right direction and give them a heads up you're coming and everything if you want. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. And by the way, we will be at Subaru of Pembroke Pines in a couple of weeks. We're usually there the last Wednesday of the month, having a little fun out there at 16100 Pines Boulevard. So come on out and join us. And remember, if you're going to Subaru of Pembroke Pines, you mention our name, you will get $500 off. Okay. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Okay, what else do we have to talk about? Oh, you know what? Let me get into a little music too before I get into any more sports. So I usually do it a little later in the program, but what the hell? Let's get it in a little earlier. Corso, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Very kind of you. Can we get a Dairy Queen at Hard Rock Stadium? Oh, what's your favorite ice cream? Oh, cookies and cream, bro. I'm very traditional. I don't mind chocolate. I don't mind vanilla or some, but cookies and cream is like my weakness, man. I go to Dairy Queen for not a hot dog. Never will again. But I will get a Oreo Blizzard with extra Oreos. I always tell them. So I'll get the small Oreo Blizzard with extra Oreos. Oh, it's so good. And if we win a playoff game, does Mike stay? Oh, yeah, for sure. He's going to stay. There's no doubt in my mind that he'll stay if he gets a playoff game. Yes. Yes, sir. That'll definitely happen. All right, let's go with some birthdays today. Why don't we do that? And let's start off with musicians born on July 2nd. All right. And I do have the wrestlers. Sean gave me the wrestlers today, so I will have the wrestlers' birthdays today. Who else? Who do we start here with? We start with Rocky Gray, drummer with Evanescence, born in 1974 on this date. Roy Butler from The Farm, All Together Now, born in 1964 on this date. Jeffrey Cooper, singer with Midnight Star. Isn't that Secret Lovers, right? Isn't that Midnight Star, I want to say? Anyway, born in 56. Jerry Hall, model, actress, married to Mick Jagger. I don't know why she's here. But anyway, born in 55. She's not a musician. She's banging a musician. Pete Briquette from the Boomtown Rats, born in 1954. Johnny Calla, guitarist, saxophonist with Huey Lewis and the News, born in 52. Paul Williams, singer with the Temptations, born in 1939. David Palmer, keyboardist with Jethro Tull, born in 1937. And that is it for musicians. Let's move over to famous people born on July 2nd. Remember, if I don't give an age, that means they are no longer with us. since this list tends to go deep, like Thurgood Marshall, the U.S. Supreme Court Justice, born in 1908. Pierre Cardin. How about that? When I was a kid, I used to wear Pierre Cardin. Born in 1922. The skinny bottle with the silver ball on the top. I remember the Pierre Cardin bottle and everything when I was a teenager. Jazz. Imelda Marcos and all her damn shoes, right? Isn't that the woman that had all the shoes? The Philippine president, born in 1929. She's still with us. She's 96 years old. Entrepreneur. No, it's entrepreneur. Dave Thomas. You might think that the Wendy's sandwich might be manure, but no, he's an entrepreneur. Dave Thomas, born in 1932 on this date. Hall of Famer, race car driver, Richard Petty, born in 1937. He is 88 today. By the way, they got a bunch of famous drivers in the F1 race. They're all, they make their own cameos and stuff like that. Ron Silver, actor, born in 1946 on this date. Larry David, born in 1947. He is 78 today. Roy Britton with the E Street Band wasn't on the other list. Born in 1949. He's 76. Jose Canseco, born in 64. He's 61. Is he still juicing? Dave Parsons from Bush, born in 66. He's 59. All these people born in my age, my year, they're like reminding me of the year, the age I'm about to turn on October 1st. Michelle Branch, who had her biggest single with Santana, born in 83. She is 42 years young today. She's also married to the drummer from Jesus. The two brothers, bro. They were a two-man band, and then, now they added a couple of people, but they were always a two-man band, and they're brothers. God, what's her name? Somebody help me out there. Jesus. Black Keys. So she's married to the drummer. Let's see. U.S. Figure Skating Hall of Fame member Johnny Weir, born in 84. He's 41. Actor Ashley Tisdale, born in 85. She's 40. Actor Nelson Franklin, born in 85. He's 40. Lindsay Lohan, born in 86. She's 39. She's only 39. God, it seems like she's been around forever. I guess because she's been around since she was a kid. Soccer player Alex Morgan, born in 89. She's 36. Margot Robbie, born in 90. She's 35. Little inflection for a reason, Vince Staples, born in 93. He's 32. And that is it for famous folk. All right. Now we move on to wrestlers born on this date. And where are we here? Okay. Hey, wait a minute. I thought I saved this here. Wait, hold on a second. I didn't save it or what? I know he sent it to me. Damn it. Oh, okay. That's right. I'm sorry. Now I'll have the wrestlers for you. Here we go. Amy Weber, she's 53. Brian Idol, 43. Camille, 32. I like how you put it phonetically so I can say it right. Scotty Tahati, 55. Referee Charles Robinson. I thought he was a writer with Yahoo. 61. Well, Charles isn't that old either. Bret the Hitman Hart, 68 years old today. Those are wrestlers celebrating birthdays today. Okay. All right. Now we go with what happened today in music history on January 2nd. I'm sorry, July 2nd, not January. We're in July, not January. What's wrong with me? Jesus. Wrong. And how long is it going to take for you to bring up this damn page? All right, here we go. Finally. All righty, let's go with 1956. Elvis Presley recorded Hound Dog at the RCA Studios in New York. Take 31 being the version they released. This was the first time backup singers, the Jordanes, worked with Presley. In 62, Jimi Hendrix was honorably discharged from the 101st Airborne Paratroopers after breaking his ankle during the 26th and final parachute jump. Well, that's what you're supposed. Jimmy is right. He used proper etiquette. You wait till the 26th time that you jump from the plane and break your ankle. In 66, on this date, the year I was born, Sinatra went to number one with the U.S. singles charts with Strangers in the Night, Exchanging Rubbers, This One Is Too Tight, Please Give Me Another. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's move on. In 75, David Bowie received his fourth gold record for Young Americans, which contained two of his biggest hits. The other one was Fame. In 82, on this date, Fleetwood Mac released their 13th studio album, Mirage. It features Hold Me and Gypsy. And if you remember the video Hold Me from Fleetwood Mac, obviously Christine McVie is singing in that video, okay? But in that video, a smoking hot Stevie Nicks in a red dress is just there. Okay, just mentioning it because that's, she doesn't really sing in that song. So they had to find a role for Stevie in that video and Hold Me. And in that video, she's just like, playing with her hair. She's on this couch and she's just in her smoking hot, era. So Fleetwood Mac, Hold Me. You're welcome. In 82, Elvis Costello released his seventh studio album, Imperial Bedroom. It features Man Out of Time, Beyond Belief, and You Little Fool. In 85, Prince's album Around the World in a Day, released just a little more than 2 months earlier on April 22nd, it earned double platinum certification by the Record Industry Association of America, signifying more than 2 million units sold. In 90, Poison released their third studio album, Flesh and Blood. It features Unskinny Bop and Something to Believe In. Something to Believe In is actually a really good song. In 91, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers released their eighth studio album, Into the Great Wide Open. It features Learning to Fly and Into the Great Wide Open. In 91, Heavy D and the Boys released their third album, Peaceful Journey. It features Now That We Found Love, What Are We Gonna Do With It? In 91, Slick Rick, you know it, released his second studio album, The Ruler's Back. It features I Should Have Done It. We go to 2001. Liverpool renamed its airport to Liverpool John Lennon Airport on this date in 2001. In 2011, Kendrick Lamar released his debut studio album, Section 80. And that's what happened today in music history. I love this new list I found because it has a lot and it has a variety of stuff. So I can pick and choose and, and so next year on that same date, there's going to be a bunch of others that I didn't read. And I can just pick and choose and whatever that I read. And then if anything comes to my mind of something that I read, like I normally do, then I'll add something to it, and we will try to do that if we can. R.I.P. Heavy D. Yes, sir. And we lost one of the Whispers over the weekend too, which absolutely sucks. He did make it to his 80s. So God bless him. But man, the Whispers were so good. So good. Let's see. Bret Hart, one of his favorite, best technical wrestlers, hence his own slogan, the excellence of execution. Let's see. Beginning next year, I'm getting her another new car at 9 years, 127,000 miles with zero issues. Now I'm between the Acura or Lexus. Can't lose either way. Yeah, both great cars. And if you're going to go to Lexus, by the way, Zin has Lexus. I got to talk to him about joining the show. But I can actually hook you up with Lexus too. Okay. If it's something in the Zin True Fin fan, reach out to me. I'll take care of you. Let's see. What else do we have? My mom was a David Bowie fan. I like his music. Yeah, David Bowie is a monster, dude. As much as I love my Civic, my 87 Buick Regal Turbo T-Type will always be my all-time favorite. That's a great car, dude. It's a great car. I love my Datsun 280ZX. You know? If I could ever be rich, which I would love to one day, I would go and find the best 1983, because that's the last year of the 280ZX with T-tops and everything. I would try to go find the best one that I could find around the country, buy it and bring it home. And I would park it and take it out every once in a while. I love that freaking car. And for me, the inline six is one of the best engines that has ever been made. And to this day, I kind of think that they don't make that engine anymore because it's like the Germans. They don't want to make that bug engine again. They were onto something. So the inline six and the bug engine, those two mothers can live through anything and everything and survive, and you can keep them going and resurrect them. And those two engines are two of the greatest engines ever built. I don't know what you call the bug engine in the back, but that son of a bitch is awesome. Okay? Yeah, you're not going to go 150 miles an hour unless you have Lindsay Lohan and the magic. But outside of that, and the Datsun 280ZX, oh my God, the inline six is that engine will never die, bro. You'll total the car, but you won't kill the engine. Put it that way. So, Big O, Diddy getting time served or maybe probation? I don't know. I haven't seen it. What happened with the Diddy thing? Is it out already? Because I know they got a verdict on 4 of the 5, but they were well hung on the first one, which is the RICO one, which is the hardest one, which a lot of people thought that was going to be the hardest one to actually prove. But we don't know what the verdicts were on the other 4. I'm going off of what I had seen last. I don't know what's gone on while I've been on. I don't have Sean here today, so I don't know. And I can't say that I've been looking for it, to be quite honest. So I usually look more about money. You know, besides sports and entertainment and music, money's the other thing that I usually look at. I kind of look at what the markets are doing. That's just kind of that's really what I always kind of worry about. What else? Big O. So all in all, who do you think the Finns bring in at CB? Keep being blessed, my guy. Thank you, the Wayne D experience. I would go with Asante Samuel Jr. is the guy that I would bring in because he's young. And I can give him one of those 2-year specials that Greer does. He can't ask for much. So the second year you do what you did to Jonnu Smith, and then you got Drew Rosenhaus shitting his pants. That's what I would do. I would sign Asante Samuel Jr. Because he's 25. He's coming back from an injury, but he looks like he's pretty healthy right now. And the other guys are older. So I would like him because I might be able, if he somehow turns the corner, he's still 25. And he can play and stay somewhat healthy for you. You got him again for next year. So I would do a Chris Greer 2-year special with Asante Samuel Jr. Again, I'm trying to win. I was trying to win with Foster Moreau. And then they threw me Darren Waller. Okay. You know, the Wayne D experience. I could try to tell you something logically, but I don't know what they really may want to. Although that is defense, and he does want to take care of his boy Weaver, because I kind of been watching this. He's been taking care of Weaver, that's for sure. He's been looking out for Weaver. I think you should look out for Weaver because the poor man inherited some bullshit last year. I mean, he had to work a defense with no pass rush whatsoever, one rookie, poor kids playing alone, and then a secondary that really actually wasn't that good in the first place. So, yeah, it was rough for the guy, man. Corso goes, the inline six is a beast. It is. It is. Only those who owned a 280ZX would know what I'm talking about when an inline six. Okay? Only those who drove it and drove it all over the place would know that the inline six is one of the greatest engines ever invented. Period. End of story. So my first car was an 83 Datsun 280ZX Turbo, black tan interior, digital dash with T-tops. And you went a little riskier because the turbo was a little bit more riskier for, like, the other engine was fine. But the turbo did add a little something, but it was pretty reliable overall. From what the history of the turbo, it was pretty reliable. But it's a little bit more riskier, obviously, the turbo. But it was pretty reliable. But that inline six engine, oh my God, what a great engine! Edward says, VW Bug, you can take it out, work on it, put it back in together in a few hours. No, the Germans knocked it out with the Bug. They knocked it out with the Bug, dude. The VW Beetle had an air-cooled flat 4 that would never die. I don't know anything about mechanics, bro. That I can't answer. But all I can answer is that car survived everything. It was like the roach of cars. That's all I can tell you. And everybody that had a Bug, brother, you can milk that son of a bitch forever. It'll go around the odometer like a whole bunch of times just laughing at you. Yeah, it's an amazing engine. Let's see. Asante Samuel Jr. is a solid NFL cornerback, known for his strong coverage skills and ball hawking ability, but he's also considered a very weak tackler. Finn's rule, everybody that's available. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody available that's, this is an all-around great player. They're not available at this point. So, yeah, everybody's got warts, as Parcells would say. Yes. I'm not that mad with Waller. If he wants to play, get back to form for playing with Tua will be the best QB he's caught from. Yeah, but we don't know what he wants. And, dude, he's in his 30s already. Come on. You get out of this groove, you don't find it again like that. It's just hard. It's really hard. We're asking really the impossible for the man. He's doing it out of pure desperation, and that just doesn't. It almost never works. In fact, I'm trying to think of somebody that came back like out of pure desperation like that. I don't even remember one working. I just don't. My first car was an Oldsmobile Achieva. Holy shit, I don't even remember that car. Chevy Beretta, yeah. I don't even remember what an Achieva looks like. Wow. My mother's first car is a mid-'80s Chevy Camaro. That was my second car. My first car was a 72 Mustang Mach 1 with the square back. And then I had a Rally Sport, a Camaro Rally Sport, two-tone. Yep. Yeah, it was brown and yellow, the two-tone. Yeah, ugly. You want to laugh? I had it painted. So I was lucky. My dad buys the car, and he owns a trucking company. So one of the things they do is repair and fix trucks and all kinds of stuff. And part of their repairing and fixing is also painting. So I had the luxury of free paint. So he buys the car, But we talk about it like the car is really cool. I mean, it's in the early 80s and it's like a 1981 or 82 or something like that. And it's like 83, I want to say 82, 83 or something like that. Cause I'm 16, 17, something like that. And we get the car and we're both pointing out that the color is ugly. The brown yellow color. It was brown on the top, yellow on the bottom, and then it had those stupid stripes in between it, right? The Rally Sport Camaro, if you remember. You can probably look it up, brown and yellow Rally Sport, and you'll see, and you'll go, wow, that was Big O's ugly car. It was for a week. Okay? Then we put it into paint, and I painted it red and gold. The Niners had just won the Super Bowl or something like that. So I had painted it red and gold because the color combination was cool. And I said, what the hell? Red and gold. Nobody's got a red and gold. So paint it red and gold. So it was gold on the top, red on the bottom. And then it had some kind of a stripe in between. I forgot what color he put. But it looked better than the brown and the yellow. So I kept it in the two-tone fashion, but I made it red and gold is what I did. So there you go. But yeah, good car. Nothing like the 280ZX that I would later get, but good car. It was a fun car. Can't say. Can't complain, that is. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, let me see if I can find anything on the Diddy stuff. Since you guys threw it out there. What do we have trending here? Diddy. Here we go. Trending. Sean Diddy Combs has been found guilty on racketeering and sex trafficking, guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Yeah, that sounds like you're going to get some time. I guess. I don't know. We'll see, right? Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, wait, no. Combs has been found not guilty on racketeering and sex trafficking, guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Oh, if it's not guilty on racketeering and the sex trafficking, the transportation to engage in prostitution, that's nothing. Johns get busted all the time. So count 1, not guilty. Sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura, not guilty. Transportation for prostitution, guilty. Sex trafficking, not guilty. Transportation for prostitution, Jane, guilty. Oh, well. You know. Once they made it a RICO case, they made it so much harder on themselves they shouldn't have made it a RICO case. That's probably because that's what the experts will tell you. And they've been saying this for a while now, dude, that when you make it, they explain making it a RICO case, and this was going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult. Was it worth it for the women to come forward? No. Nope. And he's guilty as hell. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? Maybe karma will do the job instead. You know. Oscar says, Big O, I owned a 280ZX twin turbo Nissan. Awesome car. Loved it. If I had a chance, I'd buy another one. I would too. Well, not the turbo one because I never owned the turbo, but I would own in a heartbeat if I ever had the money, again, which I know I never will, but if I had the money, I would definitely go search for an 83 280ZX with T-tops and it has to be stick, of course. Cannot be an automatic. You cannot get that car automatic. Okay, it's just Stick. If you don't get it stick, then don't get the car. But you got to get it stick. If you have a 280ZX, it's got to be stick. Got to be stick. The turbo automatic is actually not bad because I rode one. A friend of mine had one, and the turbo was actually pretty cool on automatic. I didn't like the automatic regular 280ZX. I didn't like it. I didn't like how it rode. But the turbo one actually did ride very well. I remember that. Each count is worth 10 years in jail. Well, we'll see. How about that? The Rico stuff was the one that you really had to get him on. Dougie Fresh says, this is for us old people. If the baby oil don't fit, you must have quit. Rich people in this country don't go to jail unless it is tax evasion. Yeah, you're right. It's hard to put a rich person in jail. You just normally can buy your way out. You're right about that. You're right. Yeah. Let's see. Karma will get Diddy just like it did to OJ. You know, Tony Zags, that's a phenomenal point on your part. Because while he was found not guilty, he was still kind of just, casted aside by everybody and treated like a guilty person. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get that part. But you just don't want to see people get away with that. That part is just, it's disgusting, that he's getting away with it. So, Big O, which of Sonny Crockett's cars did you like better, the Daytona or the Testarossa? Oh, the Testarossa. The Daytona wasn't real. You know that, right? The Daytona was a kit car. It was a converted Corvette with a Daytona kit car. And then Ferrari sued them. And Ferrari sued them for using the kit car and not using the real one. And then part of the settlement, Ferrari then ended up giving them, I believe, 3 Testarossas for the filming of the movie. So then they ended up using a real Ferrari. It was the Testarossa instead of the Daytona. They didn't use a real Daytona because that Daytona was a kit car. So Ferrari didn't give them a Daytona, gave them 3 Testarossas, which those Testarossas were used for the remainder of the filming of the next 3 seasons or something like that for that. So yes, I would take the Testarossa because it was real. Can't take the Daytona because it's a fraud, So anyway, what else do we have? Sorry to inform you, but Nissan never made. Yeah, it's probably turbo, not twin, right? Yeah, it's probably turbo. He's probably got it confused. Daddy gonna need tons of baby oil before he gets his salad. Maybe the twin turbo was 300ZX. Yeah, I think he's right, Brett. I think you're right on that. I think the 300 had the twin turbo. It had a special edition twin turbo. I think you're right about that. True FinFin is right. The 280ZX had a turbo, and I think there was a twin turbo made in the 300. Yeah, a few years down, not even in the early 300s, but when it formed into that other 300, that was that other shape. You know what I'm talking about. Not the boxy one, but the other one. I think you're right. True FinFin says 1990 300ZX. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yep. What else do we have going? And by the way, great news on Randy Moss beating cancer and getting back to broadcasting. God bless him, man. Thank God. We got to eliminate that cancer shit. Holy crap. We got to find something. Somebody's got to find a cure or something, dude. Too many people. All of us have suffered, friends, family members that have gone through it. You know what I'm saying? It's just rough. Really rough. By the way, whoa, I didn't know this. We're at 109, baby. Holy shit. Now that's how I like to see the day. Oh, yeah. Come on. The Trumper's going to print like crazy. Let's go. Pop, pop, pop. Pump it up, homeboy. Oh, I love it. Love it. Here we are. Ha 109, baby. Yeah. Telling you. I can't wait till it hits like 116 and 18 and 20. Then I'm going to retweet that tweet I had when I'm excited that it hit 17 or 18,000 or 19. I'm like, hey, get on board now. It's going to climb. I can't wait. And it'll be 130, 140. And I'll retweet when it's at 30 or 40,000 that I was excited that it climbed to 30 or 40. And hey, you guys got to get on board. And in a couple of years, I'll be retweeting that it's at 220,000. Hey, remember when I told you guys it was 20,000 and now it's 220,000? We'll be doing that soon. Violent rips are coming. I've told you this many, many times. Regulations are coming. The administration is completely pro Bitcoin. You see Katie Hobbs yesterday from Arizona? Arizona. Democratic governor in Arizona. What do you think she voted on for the Bitcoin reserve? Huh? What do you think on average, not all Dems, but on average, most Dems, 90-something%. What do you think that loser voted? No. So, if you have the right party for Bitcoin, you're good, and we do in the administration. The Genius bill just passed for stablecoins. They're working on the regulations for crypto overall. Now they passed the budget, and they're going to raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion. The M2 money supply in the United States and in the world is at an all-time high. M2 money supply is the money they're printing. Okay? And as I showed you yesterday, and I've told you over and over for years, every president prints more than the next. It doesn't matter if the same party follows them or different parties. The next president will print more than the next president and the next president and next president. It is a vicious cycle. And Bitcoin is only going to one place. And it's at $597 right now. Just by us talking, it went up $300 right here. It was in the 200s, now we're in the 500s. We're about to start getting the violent rips that will go up more than $10,000 in a day. The supply shock, we're at an all-time low. That's why I tell people all the time, don't worry about the price. Just get as many slivers of it as you can. The idea is to collect as much as you can. Don't worry about it right now. Don't worry about the price. Don't worry about some stupid dip or anything like that. Keep loading up. Keep loading up. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. So, it's up to you all out there. RFK Jr. found a cure for cancer with 2 easy steps. He said, just put the lime in the coconut. Problem solved. Put the lime in the coconut. Let's see. My hope is that Waller can perform on the field and stay in the right place mentally. Yeah, you go ahead and hope, Zach. You go ahead and hope. How's that worked out? 72 Chevelle or an Olds 442? Olds 442. It's hard because the 72 Chevelle is beautiful, but I love an Olds 442, bro. Give me a red Olds 442 with the black stripes on the bottom that says 442. Ooh. Or give me a gold 442 with the black stripes. Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing like a good old American muscle car, bro. Nothing like that. Oh, love it. Love it. Let's see. Old 442s were cool, especially with the W30 models. Yeah, man. 442s were just beautiful car. And I like the Chevelle. Chevelle is super nice. You put some really nice rims on it. It looks awesome. But the 442 body just has an edge over the Chevelle, bro. Just does. Has a look. And that paint job was just, it added like another element to it, you know? The stock paint job that came with it just added something to it on top of that beautiful body. So what I love about the old cars is that they have incredible, what's it called? Character. Incredible character, man. Absolutely fantastic. All right. I remember when all you needed was a toolbox in the trunk. We used a hockey stick to tighten up the alternator and belt when installed. LOL. Yeah. Back when they make it now so it can all break and you have to replace it. That's kind of what they want to do, bro. You know what I mean? They don't make your washing machines the way they used to. They make a washing machine so it breaks in 2 or 3 years or 5 years. That, you know, the one that you had at your house with your mom and it was there for like 25 years, that shit don't exist anymore, bro. The refrigerator that was there when you were a child and you left to college and it's the same goddamn refrigerator than when you visit, you know, that refrigerator? Now they had to change it finally, but it lasted like 30 years and you're wondering how much mold and shit is under that thing. And then when you wheeled it out, you're like, oh my God, there's living things down there, you know, but the refrigerator lasted forever. Never needed to do anything. They don't do that anymore, bro. The Maytag man is no longer lonely. Okay? He's got lots and lots of company. Lots of company. Yeah. Young people have no idea what I just said there. Zero, like, fuck's he talking about a Maytag, man? What are you lonely? Was he? Wow. Anyway, edumacation, kids. YouTube is there. Things that I say, just YouTube them, and then you go, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I understand. We're going to 110, 111 today, easy, huh? Maybe we break the record today. 111, what is it, 9, 7, something like that? Who knows? Who knows? But this is fun. Fun. I like it. Casp up 6%. Hedera up almost 4. Avalanche up 5. Not bad. Polkadot up 4. Van Art Chain up almost 6. Cardano up 6. So some of the alts are moving. I don't expect the alts to really go crazy or anything like that. Not yet. Until we get the regulations. And maybe the crazy printing. What I don't understand is how retail has not gotten on Bitcoin. This is mostly institution and corporate money that is actually taking advantage of all of this. I feel sad for a lot of average people, average Americans, average whatever around the world. The normal, us working stiffs, not enough of you have taken because you've been misinformed and you're lying to yourself thinking, oh, 109 is too expensive. No, it's not. It's going to 15x from here. So your investment's going to 15x in the next few years. How is that a bad investment? Don't understand that. But I'm not a financial advisor, so listen, why would you listen to me when it was at 16 or 20,000? So, okay. Big O, when the bill gets signed, we'll break the record. I think we might break the record before the bill gets signed now, because they usually, Oscar, investors are ahead of the game. Okay. When they know that cuts are coming and all that kind of stuff, they're already investing ahead of time. So, I mean, we all know the bill is going to pass. They can have all the drama. Remember when this one has a whole bunch of money and even raising the debt ceiling $5 trillion, but Biden had one a few years back that was 1.7 trillion and it ended up at 2. This one's like way bigger. It dwarfs that one. But remember all the crap that went on and back and forth, and the Republicans were making a big stink, and then they go back behind the closed doors for a couple of days, and then the deal passes. Because everybody gets what they want, and they take care of their personal interests, and that's all they care about. They don't care about us, dude. Doesn't matter what it is. Dude, Elizabeth Warren and Donald Trump both agree they should eliminate the debt ceiling. If you haven't picked up on that already, listen, you want to be a little cheerleader for Democrats or Republicans or Trumpies or whatever the hell you want to do, you go ahead. Okay, you want to be stupid, you go ahead and be stupid. But none of those people care about you. And when you see those two people agree that they should have the freedom to print all they want, and that's all they do is print all they want. Bitcoin. Okay? Bitcoin. That's all I can tell you. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same Bitcoin channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.